me go in Germantown. Peggy, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. Peggy, your dumb injury, what happened?
Well, I had knee surgery, and then a couple weeks in, I thought, well, I felt good enough to cook spaghetti and some bread, and I tore my quad tendon pulling the bread out of the oven.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God.
How heavy was that loaf, girl?
Yeah. It wasn't heavy, and my doctor didn't believe me.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
All right. Peggy, one
That
second.
sucks.
You were in the running. Yeah, that would ruin your day.
I'm just hungry.
Yeah.
Like,
What do you do? Just got some bread. Oh,
That
like you were
sucks.
selling drugs? No, like I pulled a loaf of bread out of the oven.
why don't you use the
So,
toaster?
Hey, well, there's that. In Capitol Heights, April, good morning.
Good
All right,
morning.
girl. Dumb injury poker. What happened?
So I was trying to fix a screw on my eyeglasses, and I was using my tooth for some odd reason, and I chipped my tooth.
Oh, girl.
Gross.
Oh, girl.
That sucks.
How bad of a chip we talking about?
It was a tiny chip,
Yeah.
but like still noticeable. I still have the chip.
Sure.
Oh, man.
Okay.
That sucks.
All right, April, 1 second. You're in the running. I chipped my tooth once at Reagan Airport
Yes, you did.
on granola.
Yeah.
I got yogurt and granola. I'm like, never again.
Yeah.
I'm going to get bad stuff at the airport.
It's because you were too healthy.
It was on the way down to an event, too, which is the worst part. Like, it was like I had to go that whole weekend with a giant chipped tooth because of granola.
That
So,
sucks.
yeah, that's what I get.
Nice.
Let me go. Golly, there's so many of these. Marcy, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
All right, girl, lay it on me. What happened?
So, oh my gosh. So because I'm a great mom, I was making my kids breakfast for dinner, and I was making them home fries from scratch, and I have given myself a massive second-degree burn. And, of course, my schnoodle smelled, food, so she was right behind me, and as I turn around to run water on my hand, I tripped on her, fell, hit my head, blacked out, according to my kids, and, gave myself a concussion. So it's two injuries for this round of poker. There you go.
Oh,
Marcy,
How about that?
that's
I'm
wild.
glad you're okay, but
yeah.
it's hilarious to say, according to your kids, you blacked out. Girl,
Yeah.
if you don't remember it, you probably
yeah, you
blacked
probably
out.
blacked out.
Yeah, true. It was a bit, I woke up to kids that were looking at me like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, here's the real question. Do you think the schnoodle felt guilty, or is the schnoodle more like, hey, I was here? Do you know what I mean?
The noodle's like, why is this taking so long?
Yeah.
Can you wake up, please?
Yeah,
that's
that's
what
fair.
it was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
fair.
yeah.
Mar-
Rosie's a diva, man. You
Yeah.
don't know Rosie.
No, I understand.
I don't know if I
Second.
want to know Rosie. She's not going to help you.
Well, that's a Chewy move, though. Chewy, like,
Yeah.
if you sat down, you'd be like, huh, how dare you? I'm like, why are you
Like,
under my feet, bro?
So,
Yes.
where's my food?
Let me go in Brandywine. Taylor, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Hi, girl. Dumb injury poker. What happened?
So I went to the Bruno Mars concert at the MGM.
Nice.
And it was, a nice time, probably like 3 to 4 songs in. And he plays Talking to the Moon.
Yes.
And I'm like, yeah, I love it. Out of nowhere, my knee just dislocates.
No, girl.
I literally catch myself from falling. I sit in a chair, and as I'm like, what is going on? Did my legs fall asleep? I'm patting my leg, and I felt my kneecap not there.
Oh,
Bone
okay.
on.
And by the
Yeah.
way,
And I was like,
yeah.
oh, my God. And I literally tapped my mom. I was like, feel my knee. She's like, what? I was like, feel my knee. And then she just looks at me, feels it, and was like, oh.
Yeah.
And I'm like, uh-huh. So I didn't get to see the rest of the concert. From what I hear, it was great.
Oh, my
But-
From
God.
what I could hear.
Taylor,
And,
at least so
I
you
had
can
to
say
stay.
that Bruno Mars blew your knees out. You know what I mean?
Shut
You
up.
know, to his slowest song he possibly
Yeah, I mean,
had.
Yeah.
this is
and
the
it
song.
would get me.
I sit by
It
myself,
is a banger.
talking to
Man.
the moon,
You could have given her a trigger warning, bro.
How's your knee feel now, Taylor? Is it hurt right now?
trying to
It
get
feels
to
it's tingling. I feel
Okay.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like coming to life.
Okay.
Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
the paramedics love this story.
I'm sure. All right, Taylor, 1 second. You're in the running. That's hilarious.
They're like, there's no way.
Oh, God. Hold on. Lisa, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, this is your daughter, girl. What happened?
So my daughter was in a soul cycle class, and when she went to pedal, her leg hit the handlebars, and she broke her leg in 2 places.
Oh, my God.
She was stuck. I know, and she was stuck on the bike for the rest of the class because it's pitch black, and
Yeah.
she had to just sit there in the dark with music blaring until the class ended and they could take her out of the pedals.
Oh my
Wait,
god!
I mean, Lisa, why couldn't they take her out of the pedals the moment the leg broke?
Because it's dark in there and there's only one instructor, so people probably didn't.
Okay, but she probably knew her leg was broken.
Yeah.
Have you ever done a SoulCycle class, John?
Shelby, if my leg is broken, I'm raising my hand and say, I need to go to the hospital. I'm not gonna be like, well,
it's so dark in there. I don't think they would have noticed, and the music's so loud.
had to get your money's worth, I suppose.
And then
that
her in those
that
shoes.
was the problem.
Oh my god!
Has she gone back to class since, Lisa?
She has not gone back to class since. She was in a cast. She lives in New York City, and she was in a cast on like a scooter for the rest of the semester.
That's
Okay.
so sad.
All right.
I signed up for SoulCycle on Thursday.
She's better now, though.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Is your daughter tall?
I'm sorry?
Is your daughter tall?
No, she's short.
Oh, that's so wild.
Oh, so are you?
So I was like, oh, maybe
All
she's
right,
tall,
Lisa,
and
one
like
second,
that's what
yeah.
happened.
I mean, listen. If I broke my leg during a class, I'm not staying around.
I'm just gonna start like anyone around me and be like, hello.
Yeah, I need help, please. All right.
But you're in those like shoes, you can't get up.
Yeah.
I would have found a way.
Oh, for sure. Fake name Lucy. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, girl. I need you to tiptoe around this. Dumb injury poker. What happened, girlfriend?
We were having adult time, and he flipped me over, and I broke my finger on his shoulder.
What?
Yeah. And so, are you still with this person?
I am, yeah.
Okay. And so, what's the story you guys tell people, or do you tell them the truth?
Oh, no, I told I've told people that I hit my hand on a wall just because I'm clumsy.
Sure. Okay. And did you hold any resentment towards him for being a little too forward, if you will?
Not even a little bit.
My man.
It was worth it.
I mean, at least he can brag. Yeah, that's a vibe. How long you guys been together for, fake name Lucy?
Almost 4 years, actually.
Okay. And what'd you tell the folks at the hospital?
So I didn't go to the hospital. I went to the patient first.
Sure.
And I told him I hit my hand on the wall.
Sure.
I
Okay.
spun around him.
Sure. All right. Well, the different type of
Man,
wall.
he must
for
have had
sure.
a hard
One second.
shoulder. I'm just trying to picture two strangers in this hand situation.
I mean, it is also like, where was he? Was he flipping her like a pizza?
I know. I would be like, where? Like, what way did you flip her?
That
And
did he
did
break
her
the-
hand just get like caught and then it like like pulled it?
I mean,
Because when I played basketball, I broke my fingers all the time, so it just like pull it back.
that's the same thing.
But
Did you break your fingers or you sprain your fingers?
I think I broke them because my mom would get me like these metal casts.
Loser.
Oh, so lame.
Let me go. Gosh, so many. Jordan, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, girl. Hold on. Sorry, I have the voice change on. 1 second. There we go. All right, Jordan. So what happened?
Okay, so I feel like it's a lot of food injuries. I'm not a clumsy person, but everything always happens to me in and around food, restaurants, the kitchen. So I got late night munchies. I was hungry. I had some frozen food in the freezer. So I pull out some frozen empanadas.
Okay.
And I tried separating them because they were stuck together with a butter knife and put the whole butter knife through my hand and sliced it pretty deep.
God.
But how are the empanadas?
I couldn't even eat them. I was crying and sobbing. It was the whole thing. And it's even funnier, too, because my boyfriend's, like, super queasy. So he saw the blood, and he's, like, gagging, and I'm, like, crying and yelling at him, and it just – and I never got my empanadas. So I wish it was, like, a cold steak knife, but it was, like, a dull butter knife, which is even, like, more embarrassing.
Yeah, okay.
Did you stab like that soft part in between like your thumb and your hand of your finger?
Yeah, like the soft squishy part.
Yeah.
That's what
Right
happened
through
to
it.
me.
Okay, but Jordan, when people ask you about it, do you say I was making empanadas, or do you say like I was in a knife fight and I saved a young child?
I say empanadas. I think it's hilarious
okay,
now.
okay, that's fair. All right,
Really
okay.
hurt.
Yeah, nope.
I got the scars to prove it.
Literally. All right, Jordan, 1 second. You're in the running. Vote for your favorite. 993-3 text. What do you mean it happened to you? Did you?
My brother made these brownies, little stoner baby Colby, love you. He kind of burnt them a little bit. This is like right before I started working here, actually. And he kind of burnt them, so I was cutting them for him at my parents' house, and it was just Colby and myself home. I think I was like making sure he was like going to school or something, and I slipped on the burnt part, and my parents have like those sharp kitchen knives, and I stabbed myself like in that like little place
silly.
between
The
your
webbing?
thumb and the webbing and your pointer finger. And so I made my brother, because he had his license, drive me to urgent care so I could get stitches.
That's exciting.
Yeah, and he did, and he waited for me. Very nice.
Somebody texted in, a dumbest way I hurt myself, trying to tap my feet together at the same time while jumping. Fell and busted my knee on the sidewalk. It's so good. Watch me. Ow!
No, read the one about the fart.
Wait, well, you read. I can't find it because it keeps refreshing.
Okay, hold on.
All right, hold on. While you're doing that, let me go in Graysonville. Brittany, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, girl, lay it on us. What happened?
So I was at my parents' house for dinner, like a big family dinner. Everybody's there. And all of a sudden, we see outside in the front yard, there's a bunch of puppies that I guess had gotten loose from a neighbor's house.
Aw.
So we all go running out to go see these puppies, right? And I step off the porch. And the way that I stepped off, my ankle completely went sideways, and I sprained it so bad they said I should have broke it.
Oh, my
But
God.
how cute are the puppies, Brittany?
I didn't even get to pet them.
No!
That's messed up. They didn't even bring one over for you to pet when you sprained your ankle?
Yeah, like a puppy would be
No,
perfect
they
time.
didn't. They were already like walking away by the time I like hit down on the ground, and it was just it was too late. I didn't even get to pet them.
That's
the worst
really
part.
sad.
All right, Brittany, 1 second. You're in the running. That'd be the worst. Yeah. Like,
That sucks,
all
yeah.
just pet puppies.
Yeah.
In Forest Hill, Kelly, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, girl, what happened?
Let me set the stage. I had a baby in May
Nice.
and then had a baby 11 and a half months later in April.
Damn,
Oh,
girl, you
wow.
were busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was planned.
Yeah. Nice.
So we went on our family vacation, and you know how like we're in Ocean City. You know how like sometimes you can get in Saturday, and sometimes you check in Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, we went with like aunts and uncles and everybody, we checked in on Saturday, and everybody was in our place for the first night. So like people were sleeping on the floor, on the couches, in the rooms, and mind you, I had two babies.
Mm-hmm.
And so when the baby started crying, my youngest started crying, I was like, oh my God, I got to go on the balcony, take her outside or whatever. Well, there's people all over the floor. So I went to go open, thank God I didn't have the baby in my hand. I went to go open the balcony door, and I was like, oh, I'll just walk around them. I stepped on the a glass table thinking, we'll be good. And, of course, it shattered and placed my foot almost off.
Oh, my God.
So we had to obviously go to the hospital. I had to get stitches, and that's how I spent my vacation on the beach with a stitched up foot that was like hanging off.
God.
All right.
That's really sad, and especially because like, there's the closest hospital is like Berlin.
Germany?
Yeah.
No, shut
a
up,
long drive,
God.
dude.
Shut up.
Golly, across the water and everything?
God.
All right, Kelly, 1 second. You were in the running. Vote for your favorite, 99338.
Man.
I'm going to be honest, giving birth twice in a year sounds horrible, too, though.
I feel like that's an injury in itself that
Yeah, dude.
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's a hard pass.
That's a lot.
It is.
I feel like she should win the tickets.
Well, we got to take the votes.
I know, I'm sorry.
At 99338. If it happens to go that way, then for sure.